Hello. I am gonna give everybody a couple of minutes just to log on, and then we'll get started. So we've been doing these every week, and last week we did a body-based relaxation exercise that people found really helpful. So I'm going to go ahead and do that again. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that again so that we can just kind of relax our bodies a little bit and try to get some relief. I know that it's a really stressful time, and so I just want to give people a chance to have a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of calm in the midst of the storm that we're having here. So I'll give people a chance to log on, and then I'm going to do a bit of a shameless plug, and then we'll do what's called a progressive muscle relaxation, which is another great just kind of body-based exercise that will help with just kind of getting our bodies calm. I want to just remind people one of the things that can be really important during this time. Well, let me just say this. So there's somebody cutting grass outside, and you probably, hey Cindy, and you probably might hear my kids in the background. So this is an exercise in calming ourselves when the world is not calm, right? There are lots of things going on around us that can distract us or that can really make it hard for us to focus in on ourselves. But one of the things that can really be helpful during this time is really dedicating some time to reflection, to rest, to restoration. A opportunity to do that in the midst of everything that's going on around me, right? So a couple of things that I want to just kind of make us aware of. The first is I have a shameless plug, so I'll do that first and then get it out of the way. So those of you who regularly follow my social media know that I recently had a book published, and I want to just share the copy of the book with you, Making Space at the Well. If you, there it is. If you originally tried to order it on Amazon, Amazon is deprioritizing paper book releases. Understandably, there are other things going on. So the quickest way for you to get, if you would like a paper copy, you can still get the Kindle copy on Amazon. But if you would like a paper copy, the quickest way for you to do that now is to order directly from the Judson Press. Oh, great. You can't hear any background noise. That's good. It's so loud to me, so I'm glad that you guys can't hear it. The quickest way now is to order directly from the Judson Press website. They are eliminating shipping costs through the end of May. So that's judsonpress.com, and then just type in Making Space at the Well. If you want a signed copy, you can order it from my website, drjessicabrown.com. Thank you to all of you who've already ordered. I'll have another shipment going out early next week. So that's first and only shameless plug, but I just wanted to let you all know of the book. It is about mental health in the church, specifically around issues related to mental health in the Black church. So really, what does it mean to create a community where people with various mental health statuses can come and get what they need? And so we talk about that from a practical perspective, from a relational perspective, and from a biblical perspective, really using some scripture to think about how Jesus modeled what it means to just welcome everybody into the body of Christ. So I hope you enjoy it. Please, please, please pick it up. I think it'll be a really valuable resource. I think it'll be a valuable resource for you all. And so I hope that it's helpful, and please pick it up. Okay, so remember last week we practiced a couple of foundational skills around calming our bodies. And the logic behind that is that with the news, with being quarantined, with working from home, with homeschooling our kids, there's a lot of stress that we really carry in our bodies, even if we aren't always actually aware that we're feeling stressed. And so one of the most important things we can do is to take concrete steps to care for our bodies, to limit the negative impact of stress. Stress, when it builds up over time, can cause cognitive issues, it can cause sleep issues, it can cause irritability, it can cause digestive problems. There are all these sort of short-term and chronic consequences. Thank you, Erica. I hope you pick it up. For stress kind of sitting in our bodies. And for many of us, we are kind of stuck, like figuratively and literally stuck right now. Some of us are stuck in the house, but those of us who are essential workers, even if we're not stuck in the house, we're still stuck kind of dealing with the consequences of this pandemic and how it's changing our lives. And it's changing all of our lives in different ways, but it's changing all of our lives. And so whether or not you realize it, your body is stressed. And the gift that we can give our bodies, we can't change the external situation. We can't just make Corona go away. For many of us, we might be dealing with money challenges or other things that are popping up. But what we can do is work to calm our bodies. And so the techniques that we're going over today and that we went over last week are really about telling our bodies to calm our brains, just reminding us, look, in the grand scheme of things, there are lots of things that are going on. There are lots of things that are overwhelming. But here in this moment, I am safe and I am okay. Okay, so that's really what these exercises are about. I want to review. Remember that the foundation of any body-based exercise is the diaphragmatic breath. It's a breath that engages the diaphragm, which is a foam in the abdomen, that essentially tells the body it's okay to calm down. That's the short version of it. I won't give you the big lecture I give my psychology students about diaphragmatic breathing. Big belly breaths, okay? So let's practice the diaphragmatic breath again. Imagine that your belly is a balloon that you want to fill up with air. Place your hand on your belly button such that your palm is like right over your navel, right? And breathe in through your nose. Push the air all the way down through your chest cavity into your belly and blow up your belly as if it were a balloon. And then, just when you think that balloon is about to pop, release all of that air in a whoosh out of your mouth, okay? So big, deep breath in through the nose, and then release through the mouth. So when you're inhaling through your nose, if your hand is placed directly on your belly button, you should actually feel your hand move as your belly expands. And then when you exhale through your mouth, you should feel your hand move again as your belly decreases in size, okay? So most of us by default breathe in our chest and then short, shallow breaths. So you might really need to practice the belly breath. It's okay to practice it. It's not necessarily intuitive unless, as I said last week, you're a runner, you're a singer, something like that where you have to kind of train your breath. So if you can and you really want to practice, it can actually be very helpful to lay down on your back and practice the belly breaths because we automatically do that when we're laying on our back. It's the thing that when we lay down in the bed and try to go to sleep, that diaphragmatic breathing calms down the body and it's a signal that it's time for rest, okay? So that's why it works to calm us down when we're feeling anxious. So let's take a couple more big belly breaths in through your nose. Expand that balloon, feel it getting nice and big, and then a big whoosh out through your mouth. Very good. Let's take one more big, deep belly breath. And out through your mouth. Good. Now, another exercise that we did last week that I just want to repeat again for folks who might have missed it or folks who might need a reminder is the 4-7-8 breath. For this practice, you breathe in through your nose for a count of 4, then hold that breath for a count of 7, and then release with a whoosh for a count of 8. Okay, inhale for 4, hold for 7, release for 8. Let's practice that. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now release for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Okay. Let me just check in and see how people are doing. We doing okay so far? The belly breath's kind of making sense to people? Okay. So let's practice this 4, 7, 8 breath one more time, and then we'll move into the progressive muscle relaxation. Let's inhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And exhale for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My child is at the door yelling, so give me 1 minute. Just keep practicing that belly breath. Honey, give mommy a couple minutes and then I'll be out, okay?
I saw your favorite car.
Okay, thank you. I'll be out in a few minutes. Okay, so now what we'll do is practice the progressive muscle relaxation. This is an anxiety management technique that, similar to the body scan that we did on last week, the goal is really to work through the entire body, gradually relaxing the muscles. Kind of the framework behind progressive muscle relaxation is that many of us might be tensing up muscles in our body without actually realizing what we're doing. He found my yellow car. Yes, he did. Y'all can hear the whole conversation, right? We've been looking for this yellow car all morning, and he finally found it. So it was pure black boy joy. So progressive muscle relaxation helps us to draw attention to tension we might have in the body to try to release that tension. And the idea is that when we're worried, when we're thinking about things, sometimes our bodies kind of hold the tension for us. In fact, if I have people come into my clinical office and they say they've been worrying a lot, one of the first things I do is ask them to identify where in their bodies they have muscle tension. And many of us will have the experience of holding tension, sometimes in our shoulders, in our upper body. Some people experience a lot of tension in the thighs or in the calf muscles. And so that's just a sign that your body is kind of holding on to stress and doesn't know what to do with it. So if you are one of those people, you will find the progressive muscle relaxation to be great. I do encourage you, if you're somebody who you know that you hold a lot of tension, one of the things we'll do is to kind of squeeze the muscles to create tension and then release it so you can create a contrast. Be careful with the tensing part of it, because if you're already tense, you don't want to hurt yourself, okay? So you can be gentle when we tense the muscles. You don't have to, I'm going to say, tense the muscles as hard as you can, but if you already know your muscles are tight, you can just do a gentle tension and then really focus on a big release for the muscles, okay? So just like we were talking about last time, the best case scenario for this is to really get yourself into a nice, comfortable position. If you're able to lay down, that's great. If you're not, just kind of sit somewhere where you can relax your arms and legs, where you can maybe recline if you want to. It's helpful if you close your eyes, but if that's going to make you uncomfortable, you certainly don't have to do it. And so the goal is to really just find a place where you can focus on your body and focus on relaxing those muscles to try to create some calm for yourself. And as we're preparing, be practicing those big, deep belly breaths. Think about filling up that big balloon of air and then releasing it. Okay, so let's just kind of draw our attention to our breath. If you need to, I'll invite you to place your hand on your belly so you can feel the falling and rising of your belly. Big, deep breath in and exhale. Another big, deep breath in and exhale. And so, just as we did last week, we're just going to use our mind's eye to draw attention to the different parts of the body. Now, let's start at the top. So, focus your attention to your forehead. Squeeze the muscles in your forehead, holding for about 10 seconds. Feel the muscles becoming tighter and tighter, and then slowly release that tension that you created. Just count to 10 in your head as you release the tension in those forehead muscles. Just reminding yourself to take those deep rhythmic breaths. Now notice the contrast between the relaxation that you feel in your forehead now and the tension that might have been there before. Now, I want you to draw your attention to your jaw and just clench those jaw muscles, holding it for about 10 seconds. And now, release that tension. Count as you allow your jaw muscles to relax, to become limp, more free, less tight. Notice the contrast in the relaxation your jaw feels now and the tension that was there before. Now, draw your attention to your neck and shoulders. This is an area where I want you to be careful because many of us carry tension in our neck and shoulders anyway, okay? So increase the tension in your neck and shoulders by kind of creating some contraction here. Raise your shoulders up towards your ears, tighten those muscles. Count to about 10. Then allow your shoulders to fall. Allow your neck to lengthen. If you want to move your head back and forth, you can do that if it feels good to kind of stretch those neck muscles out. Just keep releasing that tension as you count it away. Notice, again, the contrast between the freedom and the relaxation that you now feel in your neck and shoulders and the tension that was there before. Let's move your attention to your arms and your hands. I want you to take your hands and ball them up into fists as tight as you can and just hold that fist for about 10 seconds. Squeezing that fist tight, 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 tight. Holding the tension. And now, release. You can stretch your hands out. Allow them to flex. Again, just noticing the difference now in the relaxation and the tension that you created. Let's draw attention to your forearms. Ball that fist up again, but instead, see if you can kind of create some tension in your forearms. Stretch your arms tight, intentionally create that tension, hold it there. Feel the discomfort of that, the tightness. And now, release. Release your hands. Allow your arms to rest on your legs or at your side, wherever feels comfortable for you. And notice again the distinction between the relaxation that you've been able to create and the tension that you produced. Now let's move your attention into your midsection, around your pelvis and your butt area. Just kind of squeeze that area. Create some tension. You don't want to feel pain, but you want to feel tension and tightness, right? You can squeeze your abdominal muscles, you can squeeze your butt muscles, right? Whatever muscle group you want to tense right there. And then again, hold that tension for about 10 seconds so you can really feel the tightness that you've created. And then release. Allowing your midsection to settle back down, allowing your abdominal muscles to be freer, calmer, right? Being able to sit more comfortably in the chair or wherever you're seated. Again, noticing that distinction and that contrast between relaxation and tension, both of which you've now been able to create, okay? The next section that we're going to focus on is our legs. So I want you to think about your leg. It's not a continuous muscle, but for this exercise, I want you to think about your leg as this continuous muscle. See if you can tighten both your calves and your quads to create a lot of tension in your legs. And I want you to squeeze those muscles as tightly as you can. Again, you don't want to hurt yourself, but you want there to be noticeable tension, right? So the muscles in your legs should feel a little firmer as you're tensing. And then hold that tension. Hold it, hold it. Feel the discomfort that you're creating with that tension. And now give yourself permission to release your legs. Just breathe deeply as you invite that relaxation into your leg muscles that you just finished tensing, right? Notice that tension kind of melting away. Notice the feeling of relaxation that you can now feel in your legs, the feeling of freedom, feeling looser, less constrained. And now, draw your attention to your feet. I want you to increase the tension in your feet and toes by kind of balling up your toes, just like we did with our fists. Tighten those muscles as much as you can. Again, not to the point of pain, but to discomfort. And hold that tension. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And release. Flex your legs and toes. Allow your feet to stretch out a little bit. Imagine that you're feeling that relaxation just kind of sweep over your whole body, right? At your toes. The feeling of freedom and relaxation that you can now sense in your legs. The calm in your midsection. The relaxation in your arms and in your chest, all the way up to your face. Feel that limberness in your neck as you're able to stretch those muscles a little further. Okay. And so that is a very simple, very short progressive muscle relaxation. I will post this in the comments as well, but I want to draw your attention to in the top of the video where I give the title. I've also listed 4 websites that are also apps for smartphones that are great for some self-guided meditation. And many of them are kind of expanding their free options during the pandemic. So I want you to take a look at those. Calm, Headspace, and Insight Timer. All 3 have guided meditations. So there's someone's voice in your head, just like I'm kind of talking you through this particular exercise. There's someone's voice that can help you to kind of engage in these practices. And they have different lengths. So it could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, it could be 30 minutes, depending on how long you want to dedicate. The other one that's up there is called Liberate Meditation, and that's particularly for people of color. And so that one can be very, very helpful too. There's also a website called Very Well Mind that I'll post in the comments that has lots of options for different relaxation and meditation exercises that you can use. Okay, so hopefully this was helpful. I want to just kind of check in before I log off to see if anyone has any questions or anything that I can answer for you before we log off. You, of course, can comment after the fact, and I'll be happy to answer your question. But in addition to when I log off here, I'll also post the script that I was reading from, just like I did last week. So if you want to do this on your own, you're welcome to do so. I hope everyone takes good care. And just a reminder, if you haven't already, you can pick up my book on the Judson Press website, Making Space at the Well, or if you want a signed copy, you can order it from my website, drjessicabrown.com. Stay well, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.